My name is Bläuer and I'm director of LISTE. I started this fair 21 years ago and I still do this beautiful job with this art fair to introduce a new generation of galleries. Yeah, I think nobody knows anymore. You know, in Switzerland, when you vote, every party has a liste, and that means these are the best of this party. So that's the name, came from this idea. But today it's just a name. Nobody knows really. It's also a German word, you know. Yeah, of course, the first question for me is always the quality. That means the fair wouldn't be better if the fair would be bigger. So that's we keep it. We wanted the best of the young generation and the middle generation, and that is 79 galleries is quite a lot. We have 79 galleries from 34 countries. So also very important for us is that we are very international. Yeah, I started with 40, so it's only half life. Yeah, it's a part of my life, of course. But it's also a job. I do also a job. I go to my office, but of course art was always important in my life, and I'm interested, and I'm very happy that I have such a great job and can meet this lot of interesting galleries and artists. I'm very lucky, of course. Yeah, the change, of course, is that the door opens everywhere. You know, I mean, now I can go to, if I call a collector and tell him I would like to see your collection, of course, he opened his door. So how I say, the great thing is that I met a lot of very interesting people, and if gallerists or museum people or artists, you know. We always, the point was there was a new generation of young galleries. And of course this new generation wanted to be in Basel, and of course they love to be in Art Basel. So first we talked to Art Basel if they change their concept to do something for the new generation, and if they don't want to change the concept, then we would start our own fair. But Basel decided not to change their concept. That's why we started this art fair, who is specialized for the new generation. Yeah, that would be nice, but you cannot have both, you know. And of course, the LISTE works very well in a financial way. We have sponsors. Of course, we are very successful, so we have a great sponsor, and we can pay nice salaries. So, but of course, I didn't get rich with this fair, but that's not the most important thing in life. I want to have a very interesting job and want to have an interesting life, and that's how I do this fair. Quality is the first question always for me. Yes, I mean, I'm part of the board. So of course I care the whole year about checking out new galleries. That's a part of my work. We look around in the world. Of course we know a lot of people who we ask all over the world. We have a lot of people who tell us there is interesting new galleries in my city. We don't know what happens in China, so we get a lot of information. And then we check that, and we already know a little bit who could be interesting, and we invite them to apply. But at the end, of course, is a board who choose the galleries. But I'm part of this board, of course. Everybody has to apply, and everybody can apply. And at the end, we go through all the applications. It's not by invitation. We invite them to apply, but then we handle all the same. We get some 100 applications, and we go through and choose this one we think are the most interesting for LISTE. So that's difficult to success, you know. I mean, the most important part of a gallery is to find interesting artists, and that's not the easy part. That's the difficult part. You know, a lot of galleries have a little bit the same things, a little bit zeitgeist, what is now in our time you have to show, and then we have some hundreds applications every year, and when you go through these applications, of course, a lot are a little bit the same. Doesn't mean they are not good artists, but a little bit the same. So of course we are always looking also for galleries who have are a little bit different, and you think, wow, look at what they do. It's very interesting. So we are not only looking for the things who works in the market, we are of course looking for other artists. Of course, in our board are only museum people, no galleries. And this is only people who work with contemporary art, with young artists. We don't have a time. If the board works well, if I have the impression it functions very well, the board together, so there is no reason to change. Yeah, I think, I mean, you can be contemporary and national, not global, but I'm interested on the global. I mean, the art market, how it works today, is international, is global. And of course, the most young galleries who want to work in the international context, so they have also a global program. You know, the most galleries have an international program. So of course, we are global. And of course, we are interested what happens in other countries, in other continents. We want to introduce that in Basel. You know, Basel is a very small city. And when we started LISTE, we had to find a building. And in this small city, there are no empty buildings. So we was looking around, not too far away from Art Basel, to find something. And so we found this place. This place is full for the whole year. It's an old brewery who closed down once, and then was a social project. There is a lot of, in every space during the year, there is something. There is a kindergarten, there is a carpenter, there are companies, there are puppet theater, there are 2 restaurants who are the whole year here, and we could talk. They are interested to do things together. So we could motivate them to go out once a year. And we rent the whole building and the different spaces, and they move out and we come in with our art fair. It's a very special thing. It's not easy to construct an art fair in this building. It's very complicated. But on the other side, it's not a classical art fair building. It has its own atmosphere. Every space is different. Nice balconies, nice terraces, so has a very own atmosphere. And of course today it's a part of the identity of LISTE is this building. Of course we thought about that. It's not that but until today we didn't start another LISTE somewhere. But it could happen once, we don't know. No, I can't say that. It has nothing, it has to do where would it be necessary. You know, I mean, you know, there are enough art fairs. Nobody is waiting for one more art fair. So if I would do a LISTE somewhere else, it had to be a place where it makes sense. And of course, the other point is also, it had to be very good. So, how I say, until today, we didn't do another LISTE. But we never knows. No, I don't want to expand. It's big enough. How I told, it's the quality would not be better. It would only be interesting to make money, but not that the quality would be better. We prefer to be small, but high quality. Yeah, the art world is a kind of entertainment also. But that is more market, you know, it's of course an art fair during this week. It's a kind of fashion world, and it's fashion to go to art fairs, to shop and to buy. It's a part of the rich world also. They have a lot of money, so they buy art, they have collections. But of course, behind all these things are artists who work serious and are interested in do something. It's not about fashion. Yeah, it's a society who makes it to the entertainment. The artist, of course, there is an artwork, and the artwork is first, it's just at work. If it hangs on the toilet or if it hangs in a big house, the work is the same, but of course the context is different, and that makes it also to a different work. If you think about, I don't know, the electrical chair of Andy Warhol, a high political work, but at the end it hangs somewhere in a building, and it's perhaps not anymore really political. But that's the context more than the work. Yeah, some parts are the same. Of course, it's still people who collect, museum who come here to check for interesting new artists, so that's somewhere the same. Of course you can see changes. Of course one big change in general for the world is that we have much more information. We know a lot about what happens in the world, also in the art world. We have all these internet platforms who tells a lot. And so the collectors, of course, before they arrive, they already know a lot what they can see. That is, of course, is different. 20 years ago it was different. We had information, not that much information like now. So of course we have also, we can say, I think we have perhaps today much collectors who buy with the ears and not with the eyes. perhaps. Of course, I'm glad we have still a lot of collectors who really come and want to see the original and want to buy originals. But of course, we know there is people who buy just from the internet or from newspapers, or I don't know. So this change, but it's not only a problem of the art world. I think it's in general, you know. The young generation, their reality is often in the internet, and they don't have to go anymore to New York to see the city. They already know New York very well about movies and the internet and all this information we have. So the world change, the art world is not separated from the rest of the world. It's just a part of this world. We never know the future. But of course, I think in general, it's people don't have time, or they think they don't have time, so they love this kind of events where they can go and get a lot of information in the same time. So I think the art fair will be still very important. It's like these biennales and all these big shows. You know, we have always more and more these big events. People love to go to events. Nobody makes any more a travel to another city only to see one show. They have to see 5 shows in the same time. So I think it's also, of course, it's also the interesting thing of an art fair is that you get a lot of information in a short time. And you meet a lot of people now. You know, for the people, they meet all the people in Basel next week. So you win time, and people think they don't have time. People never worked that few than now. When we look back, of course, people worked much more, but people have the impression they don't have time. So that helps them. And how I say, people like the event. It's a part, you know, the parties and the dinners. Of course, we could feel the crisis 2008, of course. So we have to react. Yeah, we had to try that we are not too expensive, as example, you know. And of course, that way the galleries bring other things. They have to. When the crisis came, of course, before the crisis, as example, every gallery showed video, but it's very difficult to sell video, no. So of course, when the crisis came, they had to bring also things who works in the market. So we have to find a way. You know, I want to introduce interesting artists. I want to have a good art fair, but on the other side, it's also we have to handle the market. We never know the future. So I don't know the future of LISTE. We do it, and we have to react on the situation of the art market, of the world, of the economic situation. It's a process, you know, so we just react on what happens and what we think is important.